guys, thanks for joining me today in this special video. So for this video I am going to be showing you how I store my stamps. So mainly I'm going to be looking at the story stamps, which is from Ali Edwards, as well as the Studio Calico stamps. So the various bits and pieces that come in their, I guess, a scrapbook kit as well as a documenter kit. So here are the examples. Okay, so this is a special request from, this is a special request from Tian Patton. So thank you, Tian, for subscribing to my channel and for your request. So here it is how I store my stamps. So I store it in this black leather album. I got this album from, this is a Project Live album. I actually got this one from Spotlight, which for some of you who live in Australia, you can get them at Spotlight, I think. Otherwise, you can also get them from, there's another shop called craftonline.com.au. I'll put all the links underneath in the detail section. So, and for some of you who live in the US, you can get this album from the Project Live website, which is, you know, the Project Live Becky Higgins. I also put a link down the bottom as well. So let's have a look at how I actually store it in this album. So this album is actually it has two D-rings. You can actually, so this is a 6x8 album, as I said, leather. And the reason I like the leather one is because I use it quite often, and when I use it, my hands are probably, you know, relatively dirty and, you know, have a lot of ink on it, and this is an easy to clean album. It's relatively inexpensive. I got it for probably less than $15, 15 Australian dollars, which would be a lot less than that in the US. I got it when it was on sale though, so I think the full price in Australia is about $25. I believe in the US is quite a bit less, but if you have coupons or those kind of things that you can get from Michael's or Joann's, that would be a lot cheaper. So D-ring, I'm using this Design 2 pocket pages. Some of them actually came with the album itself, but you can actually buy them separately, as you can see here. So the one I'm showing you here is the Design 4, which has 4 3x4 pockets, but you can also get the Design 2, which has 2 4x6 pockets. I'll just take one out to show you. So it has, as you can see here, so it has 2 pockets, and they fit really well, you know, with this Ali Edwards story stamp. Now, I have 2 ways of storing my stamp sets. So the first way is if they're still new, so this one is relatively new, I store them on my desk. I've got a shelf that's on my desk, and the reason for that is because I just want to use them a little bit more, and, you know, having it on my desk means that I see it a lot more often, and means that I'm more likely to use it. Now, after a couple months, what I do is I put them in this album. Now, I'm just going to show you the ones that are already in here. The way I store them is I simply, maybe I should show you the hard one. So I essentially literally take the stamps out of the pocket with the actual instruction, this paper thing with it. And I would simply write down the month that it came in, and then simply put it in the pocket here. They fit perfectly in one of these Design 2 pockets. So yeah. Now, one caveat that I would say is that the earlier ones, so I think the one from mid 2015, you do actually have to cut off the excess part of I guess the plastic sheet that it came in. It would still fit fine. Sorry, in terms of the stamp itself, would actually be okay. You don't actually have to cut off any of your stamp or anything like that. But when when it came, it would have some like excess plastic area where you don't actually need, and you're just simply just using your scissors cutting off the excess there. And as you can see, I'm not really cutting it very well, but that's absolutely fine. And I just store that with the month. And the reason I'm actually putting the month and the year there is mainly because, you know, when I do videos like, you know, like this one, I could say, you know, this one is from June 2015 and it's called Go. And the reason I'm putting a backing behind it is because it's a lot easier to see. Now, if I don't put a paper behind it, as you can see, it's a lot harder to just browse through, you know, different stamp. Now it's just actually because of the two of them there, you actually can't tell what's actually saying, but if you put that here, it's a lot easier to see, as you can see here. And apart from that, that's essentially it for all the 4x6 stamp sets that I've got. So I've also got one extra one, which is from Technique Tuesday by designed by Ali Woods as well. For this one, I cut off the excess from each side as well, so from that side as well as this side, because it's slightly big, but the actual stamp set will fit fine in this 4x6 pocket. Now, another thing that I want to point out is this Studio Calico stamp. So with Studio Calico, you do get a few sizes, and lately, from my understanding, is you get this bigger one as well. Sometimes you get these small ones. Now, in the olden days, you sometimes get one of these. Now, this one, I just store them in my drawer, to be honest. You know, you can probably do a kind of modification in, you know, based on the bigger pocket, and then just using your fuse tool to actually make the pocket smaller. But to be honest, at the moment, I'm happy with just using these ones. So for the bigger one, would fit really well in one of these 3x4. Now, as you can see here, very snug, and you don't actually have to do much to it just by simply placing it in. I will need to actually just making sure that the plastic sheet actually sticks down correctly, or aligned okay. There you go. It fits perfectly. Now, it's quite snug, so it's unlikely to fall off, but this backing sheet thing won't actually fit. So what I tend to do, because I actually like to keep and just make sure that I know who designed different stamps and all these things, I try to I will just cut off the excess. I'm just using my trimmer here. I just cut off the other side just so that I don't cut off the actual information card. And so I just need them to be, I need this to be 3x4, and this should fit really well there. Perfect. So that's essentially it. And with the small ones, you can just literally take it out and pop it in. There you go. So my plan is to have two different albums, one for the Elliott Woods one and the other one for the Studio Calico, just mainly because easier to remember. But apart from anything else, this is getting pretty full. As you can see here, it's getting pretty tight. My plan is to get another album like this one. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go for a black one, but certainly a leather one, just mainly because it's more durable. I know that you can get other brands as well, so I think We Are Memory Keepers make 6x8, certainly leather album. I think they do make 6x8 albums as well, but from my understanding is they are a little bit more expensive. They are more durable if you actually feel it's actually a bit better quality, but to be honest, I'm just using it for storing stamps, so I don't really need them to be that high quality or those kind of thing. yeah, and I think also Studio Calico makes 6x8 album as well, but I checked the website a few days ago, and I think they only have the chipboard album left in 6x8. I know that they have a 9x12 and I think various other sizes as well, but I couldn't actually find the 6x8 that are kind of made of leather. And I certainly recommend the leather ones, just mainly because you know, when you use it a lot and your hand tends to have ink or, you know, ink on your desk, essentially, it's a lot easier to clean with the leather album. Now, the benefit of the Studio Calico one is that they do have 6 rings, 6D rings, so it would be a little bit sturdier. But if you're going to buy the Studio Calico one, you would need to get their Studio Calico specific pocket pages, because these Becky Higgins Project Live one, you only get 2 holes. Now, if you can't find the Project Live pocket pages, you can actually use the Studio Calico one in these albums because they do line up okay. And that is essentially it. If you want to know anything on how I store some other stuff that's on my desk, you want to see, you know, how I store my ink or anything like that, please let me know. You know, put in a comment or anything like that. I'd love to hear from you guys. And thanks again Tian Patton for requesting for this video. I hope this is helpful. And if you have any other comments or questions, please let me know. I hope you have a